Hey guys, James here, and we are to the mid-season finale, and not a lot of people are... I guess there are a good amount of people that are happy, and then a good amount that aren't. I don't know. I'm kind of just in the middle. The mid-season finale it was kind of obvious after, halfway through the season, but... Well, halfway through the season, halfway through this first half. But it is Boba Fett versus the Predator. I don't really care. I've gone on record before saying I don't really care who the hell Fett fought, because I don't really care too much. In all honesty, of Fett being on Death Battle again, I think out of all the characters that were teased for last season, he was probably the least interesting. Him or Scarlet Witch, because Tanjiro, Demon Slayer on Death Battle, and also it was gonna be Jonathan. So fuck yeah. Scarlet Witch, I think we all just already knew who she was going to fight, and she isn't really that interesting of a character to tease. So, I think it was just more so interesting to see if it was Scarlet Witch or the Phoenix. Who the fuck was after that? Tetsuo? I think, was it Tetsuo that was next? If Tetsuo was next, yeah, I knew Akira and Death Battle, that could be interesting. Vegeta, Ford versus Vegeta, that's a fairly liked matchup, and Vegeta did deserve a return. Fett was just okay. I think it was more interesting to see who he was gonna fight, because it wasn't a clear-cut one for him at first. And then Jinx, League of Legends, that's new, so that's interesting. But Fett, I'd say it's slightly more interesting than Scarlet Witch, just because, I don't know, it's just, there's more debate on who he's gonna fight. But I think majority was considering that, yeah, he's more likely going to fight Predator. Oh, excuse me. And given that was a community death battle in the past, it made it much more obvious that was going to be Predator. Fett hasn't had any other one, I think, besides against the Mandalorian, which no one really thought that. Why would they? It's the same series fight. I know, there's other options tossed about for, what Fett could possibly fight. I know, the three biggest, actually, was Wolf from Star Fox, Star-Lord from Marvel, and then Samus from Metroid again. Wolf, I think majority of people would have been cool with if it wasn't Predator, just because Star Fox hasn't been here in forever, so it'd be cool. Star-Lord, I know it's barely anyone wanted, just because it's another fucking Marvel character, and it's a complete wash against Boba. I would have been fine with it, because I already didn't care. I wanted Fett to fight fucking 6-6 from Ben 10, and I knew that wasn't going to happen. So, and then, I'm cool with Star-Lord just getting Death Battle. I don't really care for any of his other matchups I've heard, and I'm surprised we haven't gotten a Guardians of the Galaxy character in Death Battle just yet. And then Samus was the only one I didn't want at all. Any of the other options that were tossed around, in addition to 6-6 by me, and Sledge, I think his name was, from Power Rangers, or Sledge, I didn't care, as long as it just wasn't Samus, because that would have just been the definition of why it's just pointless to do. And you could honestly get a better matchup for Samus, even though she lacks good matchups. Her only good matchup is just because Haloid, so that's fun. But Predator, I think, was the one majority of people wanted, and I'm fine. I'm fine with it being Predator. Like I said, I didn't really care. I do think, I believe the common consent was just Predator is Fett's best option, but it's not Predator's best option. Most people consider Meta to be Predator's best. I know some wanted the Arbiter from Halo, which I wouldn't have mind, just because I kind of just want Halo again in Death Battle. And Master Chief is the only other one outside Arbiter from what I know. So, but I'm cool with Predator being Fett's opponent, and vice versa. I didn't really care too much. I can see Predator possibly returning to fight Meta one day. Not anytime soon, obviously, but one day. So, yeah. I noticed a lot of people suddenly dislike this matchup or call it boring, which I get, but also, this is what was wanted. And now that we got it, you're saying, fuck that MU. I noticed this was Dio versus Alucard and Blake versus Mikasa. So I'm assuming some popular Death Battle YouTuber said, I don't like this matchup, and then automatically people start saying, I don't like this matchup either. I've noticed that a lot. I don't know why. But I've always just been like, I don't care who Fett fights, as long as the episode is good. I am disappointed, though, that this is our mid-season finale, just because, yeah, it is like a very legacy-ish matchup, I believe, because, like, these are the most iconic and some of the oldest movie bounty hunters. So, yeah. I just don't think it should have been the mid-season finale. I think it should have happened earlier this season, or maybe in the latter half, and a different matchup could have replaced it. I've heard some people say Hercules versus Sun Wukong should have been the mid-season finale. I would not have wanted that at all. That episode was good, but I don't think it should... Because it would have been done in 3D, going by the last two seasons, which I would not have wanted that in 3D, especially as what we got. And also that episode was not big enough to be a mid-season finale. I don't care. It's my least favorite of the season so far. So good, but... Anyways, yeah, I'm cool with this one happening. And might as well get into the connections. Silent, ruthless bounty hunters in a mask, or I guess helmet. And are some of the best in their field. They hunt through space and have advanced alien technology. They're both the two most iconic sci-fi movie bounty hunters. And they both come from a warrior clan with strict code of honor and made terrible mistakes that led to their deaths. Why the hell am I getting a saying on my... Okay, that was weird. The connections aren't bad. Fett matchups kind of just... I heard the whole, like, clans thing is a bit iffy on Fett's side. But, like, the matchup's fine, connection-wise. I don't think Fett really has any matchups that get, like, deep into his character. Neither of them do, because they don't really have much character to them, from what I know. I've never seen a Predator film, and I'm not the most knowledgeable on Fett out of the Star Wars characters. I mean, I'm more knowledgeable on him than, like, some random-ass Star Wars character, like fucking Huaquaca. That seems like a Star Wars name. I don't know. But, like, the connections are fine. Again, like, neither really have any in-depth connections with any other matchups from what I know. But I think it's fine. As for, like, what I'm hoping from... Well, let's talk about who wins. From what I've heard, doing a bit of research, not a lot, like about 30 minutes of research, I don't care. From what I found, Predator could land a win if they like composite all the weaponry or something. That, or like if they consider the... sorry. If they count like the self-destruct as a win. Because before they said as long as one takes out the other, they still win. But that can be a bit iffy? I don't know. From what I heard, it gets the self-destruct gets to town, but it will automatically kill Predator, so I don't know. I don't know where Fett gets either. But from what I heard, Fett should win, because his armor is too durable, and he has more experience, and I believe I also heard he's faster. I don't know where either of these two specifically scale outside, like, the town explosion self-destruction. But, yeah, from what I hear, Fett should win via speed, experience, and his armor's too durable for Predator to really break through and kill him. So, yeah. I mean, I'm cool with Fett winning. I'm rooting for Boba Fett anyways, just because I'm more familiar with him than I am with Predator. But I'm okay if Predator wins. I honestly don't care too much. But just from what I hear, God, the Predator music was very quiet. Now we have an ad blasting. But yeah, Fett should win. I don't care who wins. This matchup's just a big of I don't care. That's just what this season's been matchup wise. Holy shit. Anyway, I do think though that Fett will most likely win. Predator, I won't be surprised if Predator wins, but from what I hear, his only win con that would be able to land him the victory is through the self-destruction. So, As for the fight, I've heard some people say that this should be live action. I don't get why I have this in live action. Like, yeah, their live action crew is fantastic, but at least with their recent episode, out of the two, the first one's bad. Anywho's, I don't think this should be live action. Again, I think this idea came from a big YouTuber in the Death Battle community. But, I feel like doing live action with these two would be very limiting. Ignoring the fact that these live action episodes are already the most expensive to make, according to Ben. With those expenses, I feel like it could limit the episode. Because you can do some editing for, like, the laser blasters and the pulse gun, or plasma gun, I don't know. But, like, I feel like it'd be tricky to do, like have Predator's actual face be there, or to have Boba Fett flying through the air without being too weird, or all that shit. Also, I do think a Star Wars episode in live action is fitting, and I'm not against the idea. I just don't think it should be this one. Also, they might be more limited on, like, what they could do for the area if they did in live action. That sucks. So, I think doing this in SFM, like the last two Star Wars episodes, would be better. Also, if they do a Star Wars episode in live action, I was really going to start saying that and finish it. I think Han Solo versus Captain Kirk would make more sense, because Han Solo is one of the most grounded Star Wars characters to reality. Like, I think the most sci-fi shit he has is the fucking gun, and I don't really think you have to have the ship fight. I'm not a big ship fight guy, so I don't care. And from what I know of Captain Kirk, you could probably get away with him having just shit that you could do in, like, live action, just laser guns and all that, and edit in, like, the little laser bolts. I don't know, I feel like that one is, like, one of the only Star Wars episodes you could do in live action without being weird. But I do want Fett vs. Predator to be in 3D. Most likely Source Filmmaker, because they did the last two Star Wars characters, and if things continue how they've been, they will likely do this episode as well. Or just regular in-house 3D. I don't know. I guess Blender, at this point, that's the way it is. I don't know. But 3D in general, I think, will be the best bet, and most likely. Because the last two mid-season finales were done in 3D. I'm also, like, this episode follows, like, two trends for the mid-season finales. One, having a returning combatant, like Wonder Woman, Lincoln Cloud, and now Boba Fett. And two, I don't care for the matchup. Good. Anyway, yeah. Another reason why I think that this... I never specifically said a reason, but I think there's two reasons why this might have been saved for the mid-season finale. Or for one being that apparently this was actually going to happen last season, but got pushed back due to them not thinking it's enough of a legacy matchup. Which we got Yoda vs. King Mickey, so I'm fine with. The other reason is because, like, Fett is the very first episode on Death Battle. Character. Like, and the first episode, he was covered before Samus, so technically he is the very first Death Battle character. So him being in the mid-season finale makes sense. And then the other reason is just that... excuse me. This one might change, but in terms of, like, our 3D episodes, this will likely be our only other one in the first half. Because the only other one we had was Harley Quinn vs. Jinx. We've not had any other 3D episodes for this first half of the season. We've had, like... Why am I blanking on the simplest fuck math here? The first three were Sprite. Kirk. Yeah, 5 episodes in Sprite. Why could I not do simple math off the top of my head? I had to count it a bit. And then one hand-drawn fight. So 3D, Sprite. Hand-drawn, Sprite, 3D. So, yeah, most likely will be 3D. I hope it's not live action. And I am hoping it's 3D. And for what I'm hoping from the actual fight, maybe they're both bounty hunters, so maybe like the Predator's hunting some like vicious Star Wars creature, and I don't know, or maybe like one of them's on the hunt for something. Actually, because I'm trying to think, because I'm not too familiar with these ones, especially the fucking Predator. But maybe like Fett's trying to hunt like they're both trying to hunt each other basically. Like Predator does see Boba Fett as like perfect prey, because the Predator species, I don't know the actual species, but they do hunt like they only hunt what they think is worthy prey. They won't go after weak things. Also, I know like Mandalorian's also a Predator matchup. I just remember that. Anywho. So maybe the Predator is like, he thinks Fett is worthy prey because Fett's also a bounty hunter, so he's hunting him, but Fett also got like paid to hunt down the Predator, so like they're hunting each other. You could have like Boba Fett walking around through like a jungle, and Predator like starts out invisible. He's like lunging through the trees, and like he finds Boba Fett, but because Fett like hears a twig snap because of Predator, or like the leaves ruffling, whatever the fuck. Like the fight starts from there, while Predator tries to do like maybe a sneak attack, but Fett does counter, and the fight starts there. Throughout the fight, you could have Predator using the lush jungle to his advantage, hiding from from Fett, and like have no dialogue in it. Neither of them talk from what I'm aware of. Like the most like Fett talks are in like the comics, or it's not very often. And then Predator just kind of has like a hissing sound or something. So you can have the two of them like be very silent throughout the fight. We don't hear really any word from them. We just get like some shots just showing their thought process on what to do next to counteract their target. Their prey, I guess. I think that would be pretty cool. We haven't really gotten something like that since Shredder versus Silver Samurai. So I think that'd be a pretty cool thing to do for the fight. Have them just use the area to their advantage for the battle. And like, there could be like two different shots in the fight using their like different like the different little what the hell is the word? Like vision, I guess. I don't know. Like we can have a shot of Predator using his infrared or heat vision to look at Fett from behind, but then we see Fett's like targeting system looking at Predator from behind, and that'll be like near the end of the fight for Fett's side, leading up to his victory. I can't really think of a lot that I'd love to see from the fight because I'm not familiar with these characters in any way, especially their arsenals. But like near the end of the fight, I was like, the track. I want the track to be like it's intense. Like, I have like a very specific description for it. 1 second. My phone loads in time. Like a very intense sci-fi theme to it, because these are sci-fi bounty hunters, but also the intense part comes from like this battle is a fight for survival. So have it show, like musically show their thought process trying to find the other in this like blood pumping battle for survival against predators. They're against their prey and predator, I guess. I don't know. I think that'd be pretty cool. And a good track to go with this one. And then for the death, maybe you could have Predator try to use his self-destruct, but Fett like uses his jetpack to get high up above the trees, and Amy maybe he has a rocket, I don't know, I think he does. But he uses a rocket and fires it at the Predator to blow him up from a distance and kill him from there, keeping Fett safe. Or if Fett could, have him tank the explosion from Predator as he just fucking self-destructs. And we just see, like, the jungle just completely, like, fucking leveled out, trees burnt, are gone, and we just see Fett barely survive. Or maybe you could have Fett somehow cut off Predator's head, like as a souvenir of his victory, to bring to whoever had him hunt down the Predator. That could be cool. Also, at one point of the fight, near the end, I just want a shot of the Predator, like he loses his mask, and he just fucking growls or hisses at Boba Fett, which catches Fett by surprise, and Predator tries going in for maybe like a close range attack against Boba Fett. I don't know, that could be cool. If that can be done. Again, I'm not familiar with these characters. God, I want characters I'm familiar with so I can talk about them. I think that could be a cool little scene to do. That's kind of all I got to say for what I'm hoping for the fight. I'm mainly just hoping that this will continue the trend of these episodes being good this season. And I'm hoping the mid-season break, like the season break after this episode and between the next one, won't be as long as last season, or the wait because like the wait between Wonder Woman versus She-Ra versus Wonder Woman and Beers vs. Galaxia was what they said, about 10 weeks. The gap between Link vs. Cloud 2021 and Batman vs. Iron Man was like 13 weeks or something, and there's only like 9 DBX episodes. There's one less than last year. And then the wait between fucking Saitama vs. Popeye and Harley Quinn vs. Jinx, that was like 3.5 months, where last season between Hulk vs. Broly and Yoda vs. King Mickey, that was a regular 3 months. That was 3.5 fucking months this time. So I'm hoping this trend of the wait getting longer won't continue. It'll be the regular 10-week, regular. I'm hoping it will just be a 10-week break between Boba Fett vs. Predator and our next matchup. And what I'm hoping the next matchup will be is Ash Ketchum versus Lucy Arpelia. I think this is a great matchup to bring their return Death Battle with during the mid-season break. Very exciting, and I would love to see it happen, especially over Ash's other matchup, because that one you literally cannot get to work. Oh god. I do hope this is a good matchup, though. I hope it's a good episode, though, because the last 2 season finales, I saw She-Ra vs. Wonder Woman was bad, and then Link vs. Cloud 2021 was okay looking back on it, but nothing great. So I'm hoping this episode will at least be a great episode, or at the very least be good and kind of surpass those two into like a much better episode, and maybe get high up on my ranking for the season. I'm hoping that. The last 2 have not been, so both the last 2 mid-season finales and the last 2 episodes. But I am hoping this is at least going to be a good episode, and that the mid-season break won't be so fucking long. That's all I really gotta say for this episode. And hopefully they don't tease like half the combatants for next half. Jesus. Please don't do that again, Death Battle. That took out so much of the fun on predicting who are we gonna get. But yeah, hopefully next season will be just as great as this first half, if not better. And yeah. Peace.